Hi, this is E.T. The information for this story, well, it comes from several sources, including this book here. It's called My Brother the Boxer, the Terry Daniels story. It's written by his brother, Jeff Daniels, and it comes from articles by Jerry Fitch. Now, Jerry's author of fun and readable boxing books like My Favorite Fights, and here, I'm holding up a few here. E.T. recommends that you purchase these and other boxing-related publications because a lot of hard work went into making them, and that allows us to be able to get the whole stories of men who've paid a huge price in the ring. On March 8, 1971, what really deserves to be called the fight of the century took place at Madison Square Garden in New York City. It was between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali for the vacant WBA and WBC titles, both men undefeated. Frazier won by unanimous decision, but he suffered serious damage that required a lengthy off-and-on hospital stay. Frazier took nearly a year off, and he returned to the ring in New Orleans on January 1 of 72. That was a day prior to the Super Bowl, also in New Orleans, and he fought Cleveland, Ohio-born Terry Daniels. Daniels was, like, former champion Tommy Burns, a great all-around athlete. Terry won letters in baseball and football in high school, but a re-injured knee in 1964 while attending Southern Methodist University in Texas ended Terry's expected big success at college football. But while he was in therapy in Dallas, Texas, at a gym, Daniels, under the watchful eye of Colonel Douglas Lord, by the way, he's a story in himself, Daniels took up boxing, winning between 1965 and 68 a novice and an open title as both a light heavy and heavyweight. But as you will see, boxing proved to be less than good overall for Terry Daniels. This high school 4-point honor student, class president, scion of a very successful Cleveland family, a fighter who had opportunity to work in the family construction business. He postponed a college degree. He gave up on that high-paying job in the family business. He gave in to the lure of the ring and the fame and the women who came with it. It proved too much. As mentioned earlier, Terry was a great all-around athlete. But like many other multi-athletic talents, Terry was not at the top level in any one of them, although he was ranked for a time 9th best heavyweight in the world by Ring Magazine. But he's never been considered a serious challenge for a man like Joe Frazier. Terry got a shot after his 5th-round knockout of Amos Big Train Lincoln, and also a 3rd-round TKO of up-and-comer Ted Gulick. He got that fight with Frazier despite 3 decision losses. Now, one was to former champion Floyd Patterson. Terry went all 10 rounds with the former champ. But also he had a KO loss to Jack O'Halloran, a future actor. The fact is, Terry was lucky, or maybe unlucky, to get a shot at the world champion. Now, nobody expected the undefeated Frazier to lose, well, with the exception of Terry Daniels. Daniels said at the time, and I'm quoting him, "I feel confident. I feel I've done everything I can to get ready for this fight. I know I'm ready. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. I feel strong. I feel good." Frazier, in this fight, got a TKO victory in the 4th round. But notice that Terry was not knocked out. He proved capable throughout his life of enduring terrific punishment, which is not always good in a boxer. It was the referee who had to stop it because of the damage being done by Frazier. In 2004, Terry said, and I'm quoting Terry, "I hit Frazier a couple of times, hit him hard, pretty good, and he just stood there, looking at me like nothing happened. It was pretty scary." The journalist Fitch wrote, and I'm quoting Fitch, "Terry should have quit then." And he noted that he had an impeccable record, or an admirable record, of 28-5-1, and he actually got a chance to fight for the world championship. But despite this, despite Terry's admirable academic work, his future business opportunities, he continued fighting, and things went all downhill. For the remaining of his ring career, he won only 7 times. He lost 25. The last, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was to Alfredo Evangelista. It was a 3rd round TKO or KO. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was in August of 1981. That left Terry Daniels with a final record of 35 wins, 30 losses, 1 draw. But not found on his record was the unofficial encounter in April of 1975 with former champion George Foreman. It took place in Toronto, and that was when the former champion was taking on not just Daniels, but 4 other men in succession. And again, we can see Daniels' ability to take severe punishment, remain standing, even demanding, in this case, to fight that the fight continue. But by 1981, Terry was done fighting. And even earlier, I think it was in 79, he'd started a business, Daniels Legal Reporting Service, at which he performed well until the late 1980s. That's when the effects of the damage in the ring began to show. At first, it was a trembling hand. Later in the 90s, it was diagnosed as Parkinson's. And this eventually meant, in 2002, the closure of his business. In 2004, it meant he was forced to move back to Ohio and live, well, at first with his father until he died, and then into an assisted living facility, and then in late 2020 to a grave in Willoughby, Ohio. Journalist Fitch relates a story. It's about Jeff Daniels, Terry's brother. Jeff was introducing his son to the great trainer, Emanuel Stewart, and Jeff explained that the boy could throw a very good right hand, and he was nephew of Terry Daniels. Stewart said this in reply: "I remember Terry. He was pretty good in his prime." Then Stewart looked to the boy and said, "Get a good education. Don't do this." Just one more story. Now, this comes from Jeff Daniels' book, My Brother the Boxer. After Daniels took out the formidable Ted Gulick, I think it was in 3 rounds, he got an opportunity to spar with Muhammad Ali. Now, after one very frustrating round, during which Daniels could not land a single punch, he, in the second round, developed a strategy. Instead of throwing a punch where Ali's face was, throw it to where he thinks it will be. And it worked. Ali was struck on the nose, and he went down. Now, he rose up quickly, and he did say that he slipped. But he cornered Terry Daniels later and said, and I'm quoting Ali, "I may be seeing you for the big money, Daniels." And that's it. Did you like the story? If so, like the video, subscribe, share the video. Do buy Jeff Daniels' book, and some of those by Jerry Fitch. Thank you.